You are so unique and amazing, and I think you have such amazing things to bring to the table, your thoughts, your insights, your experience. But where's this table? Where can we all learn from you? Where can you come to get that tea to see where everyone, like what everyone else is thinking? Like, are they thinking what I'm thinking? Am I thinking what they're thinking? I've created this space so that we can all come to understand one another, to better dissect the challenges we're having, and just to make us come to one place. And that one place, unfortunately or fortunately, is my dorm room. And I just want this channel to be an example of how you can turn your space into anything you wanted. Follow your passion, follow your dream, open that YouTube channel, open that podcast, come here and empower yourself. And that's just starting off the podcast. This is the first episode with Emeka, and today I am with one of the smartest people I know. He's younger than me, but he's just filled with so much wisdom, just like many of you. And I just want this first episode to truly recognize amazing people within this community, which is why I've invited Steve, my friend at the library, to, just like any one of us who has a job on campus, to come and talk about what it means to be uncomfortable in relationship with others. So Steve, recently I was talking to a friend. Like, I was just at a dining and they were like, "How are you?" And I was like, "Why are you asking me how I am? Why do we even ask that? Because like when you ask me how I'm doing, I'm just like, I'm fine. Like, can I be anything other than not fine? Like, I don't even think that's allowed in this society."
Well, I mean, that's interesting. I suppose that's true to a sense.
Yeah.
Because you can say so. I don't think anybody is asking the question with the intent of getting a full monologue of how your day has been so far.
Yeah.
It's like when I ask, "How are you?" I don't think I'm asking, "Oh, okay, tell me what happened to you at breakfast this morning."
Yeah.
I think most of the time you just want to get a general sense of how the person is doing overall.
Yeah.
It's like if you ask them how they're doing and they burst out into tears, then you might have a problem. But then
scary.
if you
Yeah.
don't, then they're probably doing relatively all right. So like I think it's just a pressure bar. It's like if you had a conversation with your friend and you wanted to talk about something really deep and meaningful, you don't just go in there and they just start telling you that their grandma died or something. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But that their grandma died or something.
Yeah.
They don't start telling you that straight off. They ask you how you're doing. You feed into the deep stuff.
Yeah.
You have to feel your way through, I guess. And I think that's what's going on when people ask the question, "How are you doing?" I don't think it's supposed to go all the way down. I don't know. What do you think?
So are you saying that there's like a mask, almost? Like there's like a step-by-step process that we have to go through to get through to someone's actual feelings? Is that what you're saying?
Sure. I don't necessarily think that that's always a bad thing, though. Like even if you have a mask is just something, it's what you show initially.
Yeah.
Right? And this is weird, but we do this all the time. It's like when we have friends, relationships, even if you like a girl.
Yeah.
Like you have a mask that you
Steve,
put
why
on.
are you telling me that? Okay.
That's crazy.
Go
Anyways,
ahead. If I like a girl, yeah.
even if you like a girl,
Yeah.
right? There's this bravado that you put on when you're around them.
Yeah.
Because you want to sort of put your best foot forward, your best face forward. And that's what you show. And over time, you sort of weaken that, and that dilutes and loosens into what you actually are, right? And that's just how we interact with people, because you have to know if you can trust someone to volunteer the information, right? And you can test that with all of these small, subtle markers.
Yeah.
I suppose, yeah.
So, if I'm understanding you correctly, you're saying that trust is necessary to establish a relationship.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
But how do I actually enter into that trust? We're surrounded by so many people, and most times people are just on their phones. So how exactly, how are phones playing a part in reaching people? Like if you're on your phone, I won't just come and tap you or ask you how are you doing or introduce myself. So how do you think phones are playing into being able to reach that trust, gain that trust, and eventually break through and understand those relationships?
That's an interesting question. I think you see this all the time, right?
Yeah.
There's always this moment where you're like in the dining hall and you're talking to a group of people.
Yeah.
and then silence happens or something. People are so uncomfortable with silence.
Silence
nowadays,
is
it's
weird.
crazy.
Yeah.
It is. But I suppose no one's comfortable enough to like, okay, what do we do next? The next thing that happens, everyone pulls out their phones, and that's pretty much it for whatever was going on initially.
Yeah.
Right? Because phones are a sense of comfort. People don't like to be uncomfortable. And it's obvious why people don't like to be uncomfortable.
I mean, clearly.
Clearly. But phones provide you a sense of comfort because
Yeah.
what they do, like social media, what it feeds you is what you want. So 100 years ago or so,
Yeah.
I was talking about this with my grandma like
100 years ago. Okay, take me down this journey, would you?
But yeah, 100 years ago,
Yeah.
if everyone's inside and if they're all in the same room, they're all talking to each other, or they're reading a book or doing something on their own.
No
But
distractions.
no distractions, right? Take it back maybe to when I was a kid, and then we're all in the living room, we're all in the family room,
Yeah.
and we're all watching TV.
Yeah.
So we're watching the same thing. The TV is like a source of connection
Yeah.
between everyone else. So we're
Yeah.
discussing what's happening on TV or this, that, and the other. Fast forward to now, and now everyone's looking at their phone even
Yeah.
though they're in the same living room.
Yeah.
And it's not just the fact that we're all looking at separate screens, it's the fact that the things on the screens are different, because everyone's Instagram feed is different,
Yeah.
everyone's TikTok feed is different.
Yeah.
All the things that you see are tailored specifically to you and no one else. So like that allows you to just keep to yourself more than an extension. So you don't feel like you need to branch out as often because it's more comfortable to remain within yourself. I suppose that's a thing. So with phones and social media, you're always going to get more fractured if you don't try to do something consciously to combat that.
Yeah, and I think what I'm hearing from you is that it's almost like always feeding you.
Right.
Like always feeding what you want,
Right.
what you're looking at and what you've searched up before. And are you saying that that's like creating some kind of fracture in the
Yes.
social environment?
Well, naturally,
Could you tell me more about that?
if you are only listening to what you think, that's all you're going to get. And it's very difficult because, I mean, this is a weird tangent. But then there are studies that show the older you get, the more difficult it is for you to pair bond. So that means get married, for instance. Let's say
We're talking about marriage here.
somehow.
Yeah.
But let's say you are 25 or something. You are more likely to pair bond than if you're 35.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because once you get older, you become set and you become more structured in the way you do things. You think you know yourself, you think you know your systems
Yeah.
and your schedule and how everything works, and you have all of your ideas pretty well set in terms of that. Imagine somebody that is 60 or so. They say an old dog does not learn new tricks,
Yeah.
pretty much. It's like you're set in your ways, and that leaves you unable to extend your arms. Because extending yourself to someone else is breaking down a barrier, saying, okay, I do stuff this way, but then you might have a way of doing things, and that might be better than mine, or it might be something that we can disagree on.
Yeah, certainly.
It's difficult to do that when you're just focused on yourself, right? It's difficult to do that when you're just focused inwards, because that creates an echo chamber where you recycle your ideas, they bounce off, they become more intense,
Yeah.
and then you become an isolated individual, essentially.
So these phones are just feeding us based on an algorithm,
Right.
and we're not able to live into our own rhythms. Why are you laughing? That was a bar.
That's crazy.
But
Yeah,
but that's what's happening. Like it's real. We're fed so much of what we think and what we believe that I'm not able to see you
right.
as Steve.
Right, that's right. I think, yeah, that's certainly the case, because that's certainly the case with the structure, with the way the algorithms work. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to feed you back because they keep your attention, they hold you, and they drag you in. Right, that's what the purpose of it is doing.
Yeah.
And I think that is actually why this isolation that it breeds, I think this is why therapy is largely on the rise. And that sounds a little weird when I say it like that.
Yeah.
But given what we've already spoken about, people are less likely to extend themselves if they have something that keeps them within. Right? So if you have a phone screen in front of you,
Yeah.
it's tailored to everything you want. So you hold back, you keep back,
Yeah.
and you're less willing to extend yourself and meet other people.
Yeah.
You're less willing to engage in conversation, to break down those barriers, to go through the hello, how are you stage and move
The
to something.
uncomfortable stage,
The
yeah.
uncomfortable stage. You don't want to do that because you have comfort sitting right in front of you.
Yeah.
And so but you still have all of these problems, right? You still have a lot of stuff that is going on that you want to tell somebody, but you don't want to do the work of being uncomfortable. So it becomes a situation where you look for a third party. It's like, let me ask you another question about 100 years ago.
I'm listening.
So 100 years ago, if you have something really bad is going on,
Yeah.
you need advice from someone, who do you go to?
I mean, someone I think with more knowledge, who's like, I don't know, my dad, my mom,
Right.
my grandpa, my grandma, people like that.
Right, exactly. You go to a dad, a mom, a friend,
Yeah.
your priest, your pastor.
Yeah.
You go to someone like that, someone that is in your life, but you think has the tools to help you deal with the situation. People don't do that as often nowadays because they are more isolated. They don't build as deep connections with other people. So, and they don't want the uncomfortability of having to tell the things that bother them to people in their life. So they look for someone outside to give them like feedback on what is going on in their own lives. So that's why I think it's on the res. It's one of the factors. There's other factors involved in that.
Yeah.
But that's by no ways me saying that, oh, it's a bad thing, don't go to therapy or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying we need to be doing a better job of perhaps reaching out and building deeper connections with the people around us. Right?
So you're saying times are different, and because times are different, these are very comfortable times, because we have
Right.
comfort in our pockets.
Right.
Like, have you ever felt, and I feel this all the time, once I'm on a table eating with people, and everyone starts up to leave, it's almost like there's gold in my pocket, and I'm reaching and I'm
That's
reaching
crazy,
and I
yeah.
pull it out, and all of a sudden, because I have my phone in my hand and my AirPods in my ears, like, it's normal to sit at a table by myself. But I can't
That's right, yeah.
just sit with myself, for myself, by myself.
Good point. Because I mean, I get phantom twitches now. So like, when your phone is not in your pocket,
Yeah.
and then you feel a buzz or like a ring or something.
my God.
That happens to me all the time. Sometimes even when I'm asleep,
Yeah.
like I feel like my phone is ringing, so I
Yeah.
wake up and I touch my thigh and it's nowhere there.
It's
It's
not
like under
there.
the pillow.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's really strange. But again, it's the same thing with. I went to go see a play recently, and in the intermission, everyone just got up and they were on their phones. It's like there's not enough. You don't go and you don't speak to people that you don't know. The thing is that you're never going to see those people again in all likelihood,
100%.
right? But the fact that it will be uncomfortable for that moment, you don't want to do it, right? So people don't even do stuff like that. So how do you get to building deeper connections when you can't even speak to the person that you will never see again? Like it's leaving too much on the line for people.
And you see, Steve, I understand that context of being outside in the real world with different people, different values, different ideals, and you really don't understand how to bridge that gap. But let's bring it back home to Calvin.
Sure. Okay.
Let's bring it back home to Calvin. So let's say I asked you, let's say we didn't know each other, and I was just like, hi, like, how are you doing? How would you feel about that?
It depends on how you ask me, right? Like, that's really weird. If you came up to me and were like, "How are you?"
Don't touch me.
That'd be really weird. Like,
Yeah.
so maybe don't do that.
Yeah.
Right. But asking someone you don't know how they're doing can be nice. Like if I work at the library front
Yeah.
desk.
Yeah.
So like if you're helping someone check out some books or doing stuff like that, and you ask them how they're doing.
Yeah.
That can be a good thing for someone. It might be something that makes their day.
Yeah.
But generally, I think what you can be doing to improve your uncomfortability factor, let's put it like that.
Uncomfortability factor. Put that on the record. Yeah.
That's overcomplicated.
Yeah.
But
A true
anyways.
engineer speaking.
thank you very much.
Go ahead.
But how you can do that is just by asking the people around you how they're doing, right? Because a lot of times we don't even do that much. Like how do you know how the guy in your math class is doing? The guy that sits right next to you? You have
he
no
just
idea.
sits right there. I don't really care.
You don't even talk to him. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the problem, right? There's not enough. We need to stop focusing too much on everything outside. Right? I know that sounds weird with regards to what I just said before.
Yeah.
But the therapist is like a third-party observer. Like the people that you meet every day that you don't know are also third-party observers.
Yeah.
So if you ask them how they're doing, that's not solving your problem
Yeah.
of opening up.
Yeah.
Because you only see them once or twice.
Yeah.
Or you only see them as you walk in the hallway. So while it's nice to go out and meet new people, you need to be building stronger bonds with the people that you already know, right? Making those connections deeper, saying hi to them, asking how they're doing, trying to make that a more connected relationship.
Yeah.
That's what I think you should be doing to bridge that.
And I think that's a brilliant point, because just imagine a world where we're all reached out to. Do you know how many people feel lonely on this campus?
Yeah, it's an
Like
insane
even
number.
from, have you seen the reports on the CCW statistics? The people who come in speaking about loneliness, the suicide rates, and although those are on the decline, as far as they're not 0%, those are important numbers.
Right.
You know, and if we're saying that we're not reaching out enough, that we're not being, you know, people like Calvin, we always use this word steward. If we're not, you know, stepping into that calling of looking after, and I'm saying this, and I actually don't know how you're doing. When you came in here, I didn't even ask. But
Really, bro? Come on, gotta do better.
yeah, but are you saying that if I paid attention to the people at the table, are you saying I could make the world a better place?
Sure, if you want to put it like that's a weird way to put it, I suppose. But that is true, because there's so many people that have a ton of friends
Yeah.
but are still lonely.
Yeah.
Being alone and being lonely are different things.
Two different things.
Right, you can have a ton of people around you and still feel really isolated. And that just shows that you don't have, like, the connections aren't there. They're
Yeah.
not as deep connections as perhaps they could be. Right, so focusing on, okay, how are they doing? Are they actually doing good? What's going on with them? What are the stuff they like? Why do they like them? Like, just building deeper connections with people. What stuff do they hate? Why do they hate them?
Yeah.
And stuff. It's always a good thing to do, right? Because you get to know them better, and that gives both of you a leg out. It gives you both a pillar to rest on, perhaps.
Yeah. And I think sometimes when we reach that discomfort, we don't realize that this could be a two-way benefit.
Right, exactly.
Like by involving or asking about their lives. You know, I get that too. That sense of comfort, that sense of relationship,
Right.
that sense of something bigger than myself.
Right.
Because
exactly.
I know you, you know me, we know each other, and we all of a sudden feel more connected, more acquainted.
Exactly. It could just be, even if you're not sharing yourself, so even if you're not sharing what's going on with you,
Yeah.
the fact that somebody trusts you enough to come to you with something that is that important to them is something that is a great connection builder on your end as
Yeah.
well. You think, this person really trusts me. I want to be in a position where I'm giving them my best foot each and every time, and stuff like that. So even just doing that can be something that gives you like a great leg up. But yeah.
And also, just think about it. We're in such a diverse institution.
Right.
And what are the benefits of having a diverse institution if you do not get a diverse mind? And how exactly do you get a diverse mind? By talking to a diverse plethora of people.
Right.
So if I go out and step out into this society, into Calvin, and talk to just the people around me, like just being good stewards, like how are you doing? You know, I hope your foot gets better for all the athletes that break legs every day.
Crazy.
But if we can just do that on a daily basis, just that ambience, that environment, that society, I think we could do better. I think we can do better. I think we can not only change the culture, but improve that inward feeling of connectedness that every human being truly desires. What's your take on that?
I think you're right on that, honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, that's just something, maybe you should set like a target or something.
A target, yeah.
Like,
I think we'll end on that.
Yeah, let's end on that.
What's the target?
I don't know. So maybe try speaking to the guy in your math class. You know what I mean? Like the guy that sits right next
What
to
if
you.
I
that you
don't?
even
I'm
know
not
his
in a
name.
math class.
Really? Is that your best objective? You're not in any other classes?
Yeah, but like just in general, like speaking to people in any class, is that what you're saying?
Or just even the people around, even your friends, right? Ask them how they're doing, right? Check up on them. Ask them something you've never asked before.
Yeah.
Like something like, okay, even if you know that they hate coffee,
Yeah.
why? Like, what is the story behind that?
Yeah.
You know, just trying to get, You don't have to go into, okay, how is your grandma doing? You don't have to do that. I don't know. Why do I keep on saying grandma? But
You must love your grandma, but go ahead.
you don't have to go there straight
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
Even just feeding your way in with little questions that you haven't asked before. And asking the question, asking follow-up questions like, okay, you hate vanilla ice cream. Why? Because it's vanilla. Everyone hates vanilla. But yeah, something like that. I
Okay.
think that would
Okay.
be something you do each week, and we'll see how it goes.
And you're saying that when we ask these little questions, you began with there are different layers to get to that trust.
Right.
And you're saying that if we ask these little questions,
Right.
like, how are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what about the vanilla?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like coffee? All these little questions, we could possibly be making a bigger impact into understanding
Right.
deeper stories,
Exactly.
perspectives, and understandings.
Right.
Like Calvin.
Let me finish by saying this, and then you can close us off.
Yeah.
It's like, don't just ask the questions for asking sake. Try to be interested in them. Like, the only way to build actual connections with people is if you're interested in them as people, right? That's the only way you can do it.
100%.
So don't just ask a question because I said you should ask if they like vanilla
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah.
Ask the question because you're interested, and that will show in how you ask it, how you follow up on it, what you take from it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, anything can become a conversation. You just have to make it.
Thank you, Steve.
No problem.
Appreciate your insight and see you at the library.
Yeah. Okay. Have a good one.